Not on purpose, but I'm starting this session at 12:21, which is astrologically the asteroid for unconditional love, right? Oh, man, my brain's doing something. 12:21 is also always the darkest day of the year, is the winter solstice. Because there are no coincidences, I'm just going to word vomit anything that's coming up right now as we get into this your soul surgery reading. So I have waves in the background. It just felt like the right thing to do. I tried different frequencies, different sounds for different sessions, but coming into this soul surgery thing, this felt right. I wonder if like actual surgeons ever listen to like the ocean while they're doing stuff. And my ear just rang violently. So what is this message that is ringing in my ear? The doorway to spirit is open. Your intuition has been accurate. But you're deceiving yourself about something in regards to your plan for things turning out right. You are blocking yourself with your thoughts. It's like there's a whole bunch of negativity, right? Financial constraints, there's some enemies. This is you stuck behind a gate, which is like your limiting thoughts. And then there's a storm because all of that is piling up. But all of that is right in front of the door to happiness. So I see why you came to me for this soul surgery. There is a thorn in your side, as I like to call it, and it is wrapped around this deception. So let's get into it. I'm going to leave the deception card out. Now I'm going to tap into the theme of this soul surgery. Like, what are we fixing? This should be fun. I just got excited. All right. Together my toolkit. What cards do I need for this? I have a million decks, which I'm so happy about. Ooh, hold on. So some of this is about taking your personal power back. I'm already sensing based upon where I'm being led to pull from here. Looking for the prism. Okay. So this is like an emotional deck. It has colors and like words that go along with them. I'm going to use this deck to pull for the theme of the reading. So what will be the theme for Breanna's soul surgery today? So this is on the bottom of it, right? Sadness. But on top, movement, reflection, and growth. So this lets me know exactly what the other one was saying, pretty much. There's some good stuff on the other side, but maybe you have gone through some not so good stuff for a while. So even though you've been trying to put in the work and you are moving towards the good stuff, it's like it's been going on for a while. So your mind is starting to play games on you. Like there's some sadness, like, will it ever happen? Because look into that. And frustration. Will it ever happen? But movement is occurring slowly in the background. Just so you know, this is the root of your anxiety, by the way. During this time, because, oh, slow movement in the background, that's retrograde, by the way. You're being asked to reflect on your own personal growth. Don't be looking for anything to move right now during the retrograde season. You will only upset yourself. I feel like I'm talking to myself like, who dare gave me this message? Right? You have been putting in the work needed for there to be something good coming in the spring. So let's see what you worked through. Let's reflect on that together, since that's what it seems like you need to see. You need to be a witness to your own progress. So what has Breanna achieved for herself lately? What progress has she made? Because that's what it seems like you've been lying to yourself about. You have been manifesting. That's how I'm happy for somebody. Like, yes, you did it, girl. Maybe I should add the snap in there so y'all get it so it doesn't look like it just turned into like a bottle. Right? So this is you lying to yourself about the possibility of your manifestation, the rest of it, the big part of your manifestation coming through. But you have been taking this awakening thing like to the chin, it looks like. Whatever you had to let go of, you were pretty good on saying, okay, I see what that is or why that had to go. You've been really coming into your own energy, which is great. This is your self-care, your balance. You have been nailing it down because you've been like dragged through the ringer. I think it's the dragging through the ringer part that has now led you to some negativity. Like, enough is enough. It's the feeling I'm getting. You're like, I did what I was supposed to. I'm really locked into myself. I've never been better in some ways. But it looks like there's still, and I made a video earlier on the mother wound, but it seems like there's a family wound. Is there some family members you're not talking to? Because this card very blatantly says, right? Your family is requiring time to heal issues that have created a wedge or unrest. We all need support as we move forward, and having an open, loving family unit is essential. So after you go through many different levels, you have to defeat a boss. It feels like to clear out your boss level for your karmic cycles, to clear this like backwards saboteur in your mind, it has something to do with your parents. Some part of you isn't vibrating yet at the, like on the radio station. Say you have to rise up radio stations to do different things for yourself. That's how frequencies work. You have to rise to the level where what you want is possible for yourself. The relationship that you have with your parents and anything that is causing fuzz in that is like the area you're at now that you need to clear out in order to knock off that last little bit that is blocking you from getting this life, because you have already been manifesting. You have been in co-creation mode. You have been achieving things for yourself. Like your life is better than it has been before. But it is a test. You have to take the test first and foremost. You have to choose. This is like you deciding, okay, I'm going to reach back out to whoever the family dynamic person is. I'm feeling parents here and see where we stand, right? That's you accepting the quest, you accepting the test, the opportunity to level up to see how far you came, right? But it's about you having better boundaries and communication. Like maybe there's some things you won't want to talk about.
Hold on, let me pause this. That's my lunch alarm.
Alarm for everything now. I will stay on schedule. One day, I'm still working through it. But that's what it seems like you're going through too, because this last thing is full circle completion. It's the end. That's what you needed to know. Like, how much longer do I have to go through this? This is the end. This parental thing is, it's helping you get to where you want to be by getting to the deepest root, like the stuff in your basement, your emotional basement, to come out. You have to get rid of the heavy energies, right? In order to raise your vibration. My theme today was the root, which is the color of this actually. So it seems like there are some base things that you believe about yourself. Your inner child's experience. How's everybody's inner child messed up though, right? Well, it happened during childhood. So, all right, there's that. How they treated you in some way, shape, or form during childhood made it harder for you to stand up for yourself, to take back your personal power, and you have been doing that lately. So, in facing the original wound makers or adversaries, it's like overcoming it. I think everybody's seen the movie It, right? Your parents are your it, is what I'm getting. So now I'm going to pull for my Dark Goddess deck, right? Because we need to know what power is missing from you. What was taken? What power is stifled for Breanna because of this parental one? What power is not active? This is also going to let us know which one will become active, what will be a part of your arsenal once you do face the dragon. Okay, well, this is lovely and interesting how this came through. So, right, the ability to tell fortunes, because I didn't expect it to be this like on the nose, right? It's a little bit of prophecy, though. It's like the ability to see things coming, but it's not that you don't already have this gift I am getting, right? It's your ability to trust it when you see stuff coming because it doesn't make sense to you. Maybe your thoughts, your mind was not appreciated or appreciated or supported when you were growing up? Like, did you have these gifts when you were little and nobody wanted to hear it? Were you smart and like nobody appreciated your smart antidotes, antic dotes and stuff? Today is a strange day. I just feel all off. Just so that's sort of the energy that's giving me too, though. Like you just felt out of place. You felt like outsider, like you were an observer, like you notice stuff and you can point out patterns, but that people get resentful of the gifts that you didn't even know you had. So in some way, shape, or form, you shut it down or you shut down your trust of it. Right? That's backed up with this one. This is knowledge. This is another one of you just knowing things ahead of time. And this is related to like Kundalini energy. So in that case, it's for seeing people's dark stuff. But there's also some of your fight in there as well. And it says determination. But it's like that pride, that deep-rooted belief in self, that no matter what happens, like you're going to accomplish what you set your mind out to do. So it could be you didn't have much of a support system because you stood out differently. Like your goals, your dreams, the way you expressed yourself wasn't the same as everybody else. So they didn't really know how to lock into that. It didn't even have to be like deeply purposeful, lack of nurturing or anything like that. But it's like no one knew how to handle somebody like you entering their bloodline. You are even in the process of learning how to handle somebody like you in your bloodline. Like there's no book for the parents of a child who is this unique. The same way you're having to learn how to read your own book or to read your own energy, which is really what has been a focus for you since your awakening happened. Just understanding like you're human and how all of this is happening for you is what I'm getting. So let's see. So what thorn is still stuck in Breanna's side? Triumph of lies, deceit. Somebody made you feel less than at some point. Somebody that if you were to have a conversation amongst with them, very possibly they could mention that they had some regrets about stuff that happened. I feel like the climate is right, maybe for uncomfortable conversation. That'll help you release a lot of your personal power, which is the theme here. It's helping you look back on how far you come from the person who did not stand up for themselves that much to somebody who was fiercely protecting their peace now, so you can appreciate where you are, even though you're not where you want to be. But you've been laying the foundation for where you want to be. Does anybody laying the foundation of a new house get to see what the house looks like within the first 3 weeks? Or the first even like 6 months? It might still be building like the basement and that stuff that's underground. And you very, very much have a basement in this matter. You have a bat cave. Okay, that's how your spiritual design is coming up to me. So you might not see what's happening above ground right now because you've been working on that bat cave. You want somewhere solid in your background. So as you build out into the world and you open yourself up to other things and other people again, you have a place where you always feel safe within self because it feels like that was not given to you beforehand. So the thorn in your side are all the things told to you to keep you docile, sort of, kind of. That your anger didn't have a place, that your words didn't have a place. It feels very much like you might have some afflictions to your Cancer energy too, and this just feels like your femininity being weaponized against you. Like, you know, that I'm just a girl stuff. That's what sort of, if you're part of your wound feels like you've had to recover from other people's estimation of what you could accomplish. And I have said that a million different times, a million different ways, but it keeps coming through is she was just lied to because other people who weren't that great couldn't perceive her greatness. And she just has to step into it. Yeah, like it's that easy, right? So what can Breanna do to heal this wound or to begin healing this wound? Well, the session was part of it. You needed to see yourself from outside of yourself because you're not seeing clearly from within you. Well, which makes sense as doing this reading during Neptune and Aries, right? When all the illusions about self are being brought to the front. So allow yourself to dream a little. Allow yourself to dream a lot. And then speak it into existence also. Some of the things that you're daydreaming about are things you want for yourself, but you like shake them away. Like, oh, well, if I think about that a lot, if I daydream about it a lot, maybe that's my subconscious, because that's exactly what your daydreams are. It's telling me that's what I want. That's what I desire. That's what I would like to see bring into this reality. So start trying to speak it into existence. Start lining yourself up with opportunities for it to happen. Feels like you need to get laid. I don't know. It keeps coming up. I couldn't ignore it because it came through in two cards. But that's also a part of any root chakra stuff. All your pain, and I don't know, do people know this like it's a normal thing? But all your stress, your worries, all your tension as a female go into the lining of your vagina so that when you have sex, you're actually releasing from your root, but you're releasing all the stress and stuff that has like built up in your undercarriage, so to speak. So that's why, you know, sometimes when there's a woman who's like an absolute bitch, people are like, oh, she needs some dick. She needs to go stick out her ass. But it's because of the stress and stuff that is accrued in the walls. I guess if you were a guy and you had a male part that you used for, you'd be releasing from your male G-spot bussy area. I guess that's the best way to say that. But you have some backed up energy. Maybe you have had unsatisfying sexual relations. I don't know if you're in a relationship. If you're in a relationship, you need to say what you mean. You need to tell them you need to kick it up a notch. But if you're not, you need to start speaking some more of your desires for your life, for your social life, it seems like, for new people you want to call in, for new experiences that you would like to have here. Because regardless of the times that you were put into a position of being a victim, you do not have to stay a victim forever. This is victim consciousness. You don't have to be goth. You don't have to be protective of your feminine energy with your darkness first. You can step into this energy of self-love, which is what you've been pushed into, sort of putting your boundaries down and shedding everybody around you so you can learn who you were when you're alone without other people around, so you can notice when you start to deviate away from who you actually are for the comfort of others. Like you needed to get really like in close with yourself. But then when you got really like close in with yourself, you needed to learn to love what you see, and what you didn't love, you work on, because maybe it's a trait you didn't like, or like, oh, that wasn't originally there. I just got bitter, or whatever the case may be. You needed to know you inside and out. And this conversation that I'm having with you is actually supposed to be a culmination of all the stuff that you have been going through for the last 3 years. I'm hearing like everything you've been doing. This, and you finally, if you haven't even, if you have not yet run into the parental thing, I'm hoping this was sort of around the same time that it was already set up to happen, so you can be like, "Whoo, don't be worried." Oh my gosh, my eye just looked like they were sideways. I'm tripping on this camera sometimes. But you are about to reap what you've been planning for yourself. So I'm going to find out what that is. What is Breanna going to be reaping for herself following this little lull here of cleaning? Every hurricane comes to an end. And in my mind, I was trying to decide if it's best for you to take this time to reflect before you go forth and set up a meeting or do whatever you need to with your parents. Although I feel like if it needs to happen before retrograde season is over, your parents will reach out to you because typically people who are unaware of these things are more susceptible to picking up the waves like, oh, I need to call such and such. Oh, I need to reach out. And they'll reach out to you first. But if not, just take this time to reflect and think about yourself, how many things that are running through your mind that weren't things that were actually like your issues that came from other people's projections and their experiences as your parents, separate from them being your parent. Like what happened to them? What was their parent like? What was their childhood like? Who was this human that raised you as an individual? All that sort of stuff will help the internal bleeding, if you will, because that's what I'm getting here. You running off with your crown. You look back one more time, but you're getting the hell out of there. It's over. You don't want that anymore. You don't want the ramifications of that because you have now discovered who you are and nothing from before applies because it was all based on a lie. You have started a new foundation in secret, by the way. That's what that bat cave is. All the secret stuff that you keep to yourself. But it's like you're about to start building within view. When they start like laying the bricks and stuff, but they got to put the frames down first. So your next phase is building something that you can like put skin on. So the framework for whatever it is that you're supposed to be doing is next, like a stronger framework. You've already built the foundation is what I'm getting. And this could pertain to your work life, your family life, but it feels like work, like something you're doing personally for yourself, establishing your life as an individual. You've already put the secret stuff and did the back office work, but you're just getting into frames and brickwork and that sort of stuff. So, I mean, you're young. That's where it's supposed to be. If you're having a legacy, that stuff usually builds to like, what, 50? And then at 50, you start sitting back like, oh, I have built my whatever. If you are fortunate and you've been able to do things with a support system, which is what you have been developing during this time. You've been building the support system within self. You're going to have some friends. I guess they're going to help build on your house with you. You're going to have new soul tribe people that sort of pour into you and help add bricks to what you are coming up with. Just as friends, like, oh my gosh, that's awesome that you're doing that. Have you ever thought about this sort of energy? So you've earned all your stripes is the next one. All good signs. See, every hurricane comes to an end. You've earned your stripes. You did what you needed to do. I feel like it's the end of an initiation. The hardest part is reflecting back and saying, holy shit, but look at the card. Holy shit. After you've done it. So don't be worried. This one lets you know confidence will come with time. Whatever you're doing, you're putting yourself out there. You have your sword with you right now, even though you're not exactly how to use it. This is a part of you running away and taking back your power. I find that so funny how she's on foot here and she's gone like I'm out, but this one she's traveling, like she's moving forward. She's doing it. And the theme of this was what? Movement, right? This flowers is be honest with yourself. Are you somebody who humbles yourself when you're doing really good? That could come from other people doing that to you. So dance like no one's watching. That's not what it says. This says mirror. And it says treat your body like the palace it is. But I'm feeling like you need to dance like no one's watching. Like do what you want to do. And this be honest with yourself is there are so many things that you have not been doing for yourself because other people wouldn't approve. It's like they live rent-free in your head. When you make a decision, they were right there casting a vote in your mind, just unconsciously because that's what you were used to doing. Like, oh, how my parents feel about this? How will such and such? How will other people feel about this? And the main person you weren't consulting with was you. But that was, oh, Breanna, you were still coming out of those patterns. You're saying, hell no. To all of that. That's not you anymore. And you are finally passing the final door to knowing that for certain. You can stand up for yourself and be respectful. You are allowed to maintain the peace that you have had for self, even when interacting with other people who made you feel like it was not okay for you to be you at other times. That storyline is over. So what message do I need to close with today? Grow good relationships. Partners support one another, co-create, and problem solve together. Forging positive new partnerships is a potential way to unblock personal growth. I don't know. That's just a really like fall in love vibe. Get out there. See what the world is offering you. If somebody's been trying to holler at you, like, go with it. The next one is grace. And I think this goes with what I was saying. When you think about your parents, think about what their parents went through, how they were raised, because this is like, notice divine in the audience. Grace is happening with you and through you. Notice any parts of your life that have been touched by blessings or where miracles have occurred. Also feeling like in recognizing your station and that you were a little different from everybody else because you were meant to be born into this bloodline to make a difference. You have the gift of grace that you're allowed to give to them. Like, there are multiple different ways you can have a conversation with your parents, but some of them end with, "You ruined my life," right? And that doesn't do anything. But in your own vulnerability and thinking about your future children and how things can go left or right, no matter what you do, that grace. And you will always be able to find that grace in you, because look where you are now. Look how far you've come. Look how you've recovered, and the person that you have turned into despite the obstacles. That was God's grace covering you that whole time. Okay, that's why you can extend it to somebody else, because you were always taken care of despite the situation. So resonance, that lets me know that I said a couple of things here that were supposed to hit you on the chest because they'd already been in your mind, and I'm just meant to be a reflection of what's already in your psyche, right? So notice your energy is what it says. What type of energy are you broadcasting to the world? Find what in life resonates or dissonates with you so that you can become clearer on your path. If it doesn't resonate, and I'm getting that, like, people, and it might be used to, maybe you're moving out of this era, but people used to give you a lot of advice. People used to tell you a lot of things and put their stuff on you. That tool of resonance, or you recognize when something is like, that doesn't line up, that doesn't sound like that's for me, is going to save you a lot of trouble, because you've taken advice that was not for you. It was from other people for what they would do if they had been in your shoes. But they don't have your purpose, they don't have your alignment, they don't have your gifts that are coming in off the Richter, right? So you are enough. That's what you need to know. You will always have enough. And what you have not, what you do not want any more of, you now have the ability to say that. It's like you got your voice back in some ways. So have fun testing that out with this next obstacle. Have a good day.